UFC Fight Night. Armin Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker, boys. Let's get straight into these predictions. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. As always, we start with the early prelims, ending with the main event. And I'm real excited for this one, boys. We got Marquette Bujlo versus Denzel Freeman. Boys, this is a banger. Never even heard of these guys. We could go Marek Bujlo. Actually, man, Denzel Freeman's is a monster. All right, bud. Moving up the card, we have Narulo Alia versus Shamrock. Hey, mate, Shamrock's can come out here, and yeah, whatever. Let me get Narulo Alia. Bro's literally mini Khabib. He has really good wrestling, really good takedowns. If he takes you down, he's gonna grab a hold of you. You're not gonna really get back up too easily. He has good control time. He is kind of like a little Khabib, in my opinion. Even though they're kind of like the same height, I think he's a little taller than Khabib, a little more longer reach. But I think he's a really good fighter, man. I think he's a decent prospect. I think in his last fight, some people said he didn't look as good. But I don't think that's going to matter in this fight. I think he's going to come out here, get the takedowns on Shamrock. Shamrock is kind of a little bit of a worry. A lot of people are kind of worried. I'm not really that worried. I think Shamrock is decent, but he's also not as tested as Aliev when it comes to UFC competition. So with that being said, I think it's going to be Aliev just going to be able to wrestle him to a decision. And I think Shamrock has more finishing potential, but it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? Bro got the V at the end of his name, you know what I'm saying? We're in Abu Dhabi, boys, you know what that means. And we have Ismail Nardiev versus Ryan Loder. I'm kind of back and forth on this one. I wanted to pick Ryan Loder because he lost to Robert Valentin, but he just got killed by Asmat Bakoyev. But it's just like Robert Valentin, he looked good on Tough, obviously the Ultimate Fighter. He looked good on the Ultimate Fighter against Robert Valentin. Robert Valentin's been getting fraud checked. Of course, Robert Valentin's getting fraud checked against really good competition. It's just not a good look, though. It's not really a good look. I'm gonna have to pick Ismail Nardiev. I'm probably saying his last name wrong, but I'm gonna have to go Ismail. I just feel like Ismail, he lost to Park, right? But Park is really solid. Sung Park is really solid. I think I said his name right. That might have just come off like a little racist. But Park is really good. It's a hard fight too. You know what I'm saying? Hard fight to call, but something's just telling me to go Ismail. And also, I'm pretty sure Ryan Loder beat Bruno Lopez, or was that Ismail? I think it was Ismail. Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty close. I think this might be like a split decision. Maybe some people cry robbery for Ismail because we're in Abu Dhabi. But I think Loder might be able to secure some takedowns. But I got to see a little something more from Loder to make me pick him. Moving on up the card. This is a banger matchup. We have Bezkat Almakan versus Alessandre Topuria. I'm going Topuria, but I'm actually not as confident. Bezkat, I wasn't familiar with his game, but he chinned Umar Nurmagomedov. He didn't knock him out. He just chinned him a little bit, cracked his chin, knocked him down, and then after that, Umar started wrestling. But Alessandro Topuria, bro, he has the plot armor. He's literally like, yo, listen, like, excuse me, you're supposed to give a proper breakdown, kid. The Alessandro Topuria, that's it. That's literally Topuria's brother. He got the plot armor. His opponent is literally coming off a first-round KO. Bezkat, he's coming off a first-round KO, but against what? Brad Katona, and the rest are nobodies. Never even heard of Brad Katona, bro. Call me a casual, I don't care. I think Topuria, honestly, keeps himself defensively sound. I think this is going to be majority of the fight is going to be a boxing matchup. And if it is a boxing matchup, then I think Topuria is going to be able to get it done. I think he's a way crisper boxer, crisper head movement. And yeah, I think that's what's going to come down to. And I think Topuria is going to win in that aspect. Topuria can also mix it up with the wrestling. I think we can just tie both of those together. If Bezkat comes out here, starts throwing out the lead leg of Topuria, maybe, the calf kicks can give him a problem, but I think Topuria can keep himself sound. I think Tapor is going to get it done by decision. Moving on to the card, we have Abdul Rahman Yakayev versus Rafael Sequeira. And a lot of people aren't familiar with Abdul. And he's coming off the Dana White Contender Series. He got a nasty KO in like 30 seconds. And I'm going to go Abdul to get it done, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Abdul, first of all, we should talk about Rafael. Rafael is not that good, bro. He's coming off a 3-fight losing streak. He was kind of supposed to verse Ibo Aslan. Ibo Aslan KO'd him in the first round. And it was like a standing TKO. Then he versed, I forgot who he versed after that. Or he versed Modestas Bukauskas. He versed Modestas Bukauskas, got slumped so bad. It was probably one of the nastiest knockouts I've ever seen. Not a lot of people are talking about it too. Like, it was like a knockdown. And then Rafael got knocked out and he just felt his knees. And then he lost to Walker. So I'm gonna go Abdul to come out here and just KO him. Especially if Abdul comes out here really aggressively. Moving up the card with Nicholas Dalby versus Sagid Izkakmiev. Kind of flying through these boys. Okay, I like the pace we're going, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go Sagid. This is kind of a little tricky because Nicholas Dalby's coming off the slump of his life. He got slumped. They got slimed out bad. He got slimed out really bad. But if you guys don't know who Sagid is, I believe he comes from one championship, and he hasn't fought in 2 years. But he's also coming from the Khabib camp. Islam was in his corner in his last fight on the one championship. I'm gonna pick him in this fight, man. I think he wins this fight, and I think the only thing that's thrown me off is the time off. But I think maybe it was injuries he was trying to recover from. I think he was saying he just wants some time off for himself, but he's probably capping. So with that being said, I think he's just gonna come out here, and I think he's pretty well rounded in the striking, but I think he's gonna come out here, probably wrestle. My fault, I was picking my nose, but yeah. Also, like I said, Dalby, I think he's getting up there in age. I think he is. Dalby's 40, and I'd rather pick Sagid to really win this as opposed to Dalby, bro. Especially coming off that nasty KO. It was like a Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway KO that Randy Brown put on Dalby. And I think Sagid could come out here, maybe even chins Dalby, but I think he has the grappling advantage, and I think he's just a little bit everywhere. Dalby's a decent underdog because he's the underdog in this fight, but not that confident in him. Moving up the card, we have Bogdan Grad with the fucking biggest calves on the fucking card versus Luke Riley, mate. Everybody's going Luke Riley. I'm gonna go kind of a try-hard pick. I'm gonna say Bogdan Grad. And I understand, listen, Luke Riley has the finishing potential. I completely understand. I think they're trying to lob up Bogdan Grad, someone from the regional scene. I think this is one of those fights where it's whoever wins this kind of, puts their name a little bit more out there. And Bogdan Grad is no slouch, bro. He's not a slouch. He's actually a pretty decent fighter. And I think he just has the overall better experience against better competition. And I've seen this time and time again. I mean, sometimes the regional guys win, but it doesn't matter really how good you look on the regional scene. You come into the UFC, these guys usually lose these fights. So with that being said, I'm gonna go Bogdan Grad just because I've seen what he can do against really good competition, and that being UFC competition. So I'm gonna go Bogdan Grad, but Luke Riley is a sleeper fighter. I'm just not really confident in that because I could see Bogdan Grad even getting a smudge decision or maybe the takedowns on Luke Riley. So Luke Riley is a KO specialist, but I'm going to feel more confident going Bogdan Grad. Moving up the card with Alex Perez versus Asul Almabayev. And I'm going to go Asul Almabayev. Alex Perez, just all them injuries adding up. Yeah, man. All them injuries adding up. I think it's going to take a toll on bro. On Alex Perez. I think I said Asul Almabayev. I think Alex Perez, just the injuries he keeps on having. And he does struggle against these type of fighters. The fighters are going to come out here like Asul Almabayev, Tatsuro Taira. I forgot the other guy, Alex Perez. I think it was Muhammad Makayev that he also versed. Bro, so Mabayev, bro, like, he's just going to come out here and wrestle this guy. And I think Alex Perez is going to struggle with that. So I'm going to go Asul Mabayev. I think he probably gets a decision here. Like, just another wrestle decision. I think there's honestly going to be a sleeper amount of decisions on the card. Low key. But, yeah, I think Asul has really good takedowns. Can't really choose Perez, like I said, in this spot because he's coming off a knee injury against Tsarukyan. Perez fought the best of the best, which is why it's kind of hard picking Asul, but Asul just came off that win against Jose Ochoa, and Jose Ochoa was kind of like a touted prospect. So I think that's a good win. In hindsight, I think that's going to be a really good win. I think Jose Ochoa is going to come out here and probably start messing up a couple guys in the flyweight division. So I like Asul Mabayev in this fight. So give me Asul Mabayev. I also think, though, like, Alex Perez will have the advantage. If Asul Mabayev doesn't get the takedowns, Perez should win. Then moving up the card, we have Taguro Ulanbekov versus Kyoji Horiguchi. And ain't no way Taguro Ulanbekov is only 5'7". I thought bro was like 5'8", 5'9", bro. Ain't no way he's 5'7", bro. There's no way. I think he's like 5'8", 5'9". But anyway, Kyoji Horiguchi. Long-awaited return. Why are they having him versus Taguro Ulanbekov? I don't know. And I think Taguro Ulanbekov is going to win this fight. I think this is just too much too soon, maybe. I think maybe Kyoji can maybe get like one takedown. But, bro, Taguro is the better grappler. And I think he might even be able to submit Kyoji Horiguchi. So, we'll see. But I like Taguro in this fight. And I think this is honestly a hard fight for Kyoji. Like, Tagir is 6-1 in the UFC, number 13th ranked. Bro, give Tagir a top 10 opponent already. I feel like he's been versing these kind of like up and comers. Like, not saying Kyoji or Horiguchi, I'm just saying like the other fighters that he was versing. Like, bro, he got Clayton Carpenter, bro. Clayton Carpenter, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go Tagir to get this done. Moving up the card, we have Sergey Spivak versus Shamil Gaziev. Shamil the Blob Gaziev. This is gonna be a fat man. Fucking, I don't even know. It's just gonna be a fat fight. It's gonna be a fat fight. I'm gonna take the over 30 seconds on these guys just huffing and puffing after like 5 strikes thrown. But give me Shamil Gaziev. He's in home territory, bro. Not only that, but I feel like Sergey Spivak, bro, it's gonna sound a little crazy, but I feel like Sergey Spivak's gonna, like, if he doesn't get the takedowns, I think like he's just gonna attempt 1 or 2 takedowns and that's it for the fight. I think he's just gonna be in the corner. Like, bro, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Get the cardio. I don't even know if bro's doing cardio in this camp, but I think Shamil Gaziev. The only thing I don't like is I feel like Shamil Gaziev doesn't really have that takedown. Like, I feel like he's also lazy. If someone takes him down, he's probably just gonna lay there. But I think he has more power than Sergey Spivak at this point in time, and Sergey is kind of on a decline. He's coming off that loss to Waldo Acosta. So, I'm going to have to go Sergey Spivak, man. And like I said, Shamil Gaziev, he's lost to Rosenstruck that one time, but other than that, he's been looking really good in his past couple fights. Moving on up the card, Jack Hermanson versus Maitebek Orobai. And I was going to go Jack Hermanson, bro, but like the more I think about it, he did get like chinned so bad against RoboCop. It's kind of hard for me to pick him, so I'm going to go Orobai. I had my pick at first to Jack Hermanson. I think he could avoid the takedowns, and I think he's way better than Orobai on the feet. But honestly, bro, just look at Orobai, bro. This motherfucker looks like a caveman. So, bro, like, that's literally my explanation. I think that's gonna be my explanation for this fight, bro. Like, I want to say Jack Hermanson on some tryhard shit. Jack Hermanson's gonna flick that jab. He's gonna flick that jab, walk around the octagon, avoid the takedowns. But honestly, bro, like, I'm just gonna say Orobai. Jack Hermanson got slept like badly. Like, motherfuckers thought he was dead. Woke up from the dead type shit. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna go Jack Hermanson. Maitebek Orobai probably gets the takedowns. I mean, I'm gonna go Orobai probably gets the takedowns, and that's how he probably wins the fight. But yeah, moving on to the card, Volkan Ozdemir versus Alonzo Mainfield. Now, I don't think Alonzo Mainfield is good. I'll be honest. I think Alonzo Mainfield just beat Umar Sy because Umar Sy is retarded and kept trying to go for the takedowns that he couldn't get. But that was mostly because, yeah, like I said, Sai sold that fight. That's the only reason Mainfield won, in my opinion. But I think this is gonna be an easy win for Volkan, and I think as long as he stays away from the power that Mainfield may be able to bring, I think he wins. I also wrote down that Volkan also shoots, so I think if Volkan mixes in the grappling, I think this should be a straightforward win for him. To be honest, that's pretty light. But moving up the card, we have Bilal Muhammad versus Ian Gary. Now, this is actually kind of a hard fight to predict. I want to say Bilal wins this fight, and he's been an underdog so many times. I think he wins this fight. I think Ian Gary's good, bro, but I don't think he's that, like, I think he's good. I don't know, bro. I think if Bilal fights a good fight, like, if this is a 5-round fight, this is Bilal every day, but this is a 3-round fight. But I think maybe Bilal's forward pressure and Ian Gary being on the back foot is going to be a little better for Bilal. If Bilal gets the takedowns, I think it's over with, bro. And it's so hard to take down Bilal. You're not going to be able to take down Bilal. Like, Ian Gary's not going to be out here trying to backpack Bilal and fake some rear naked chokes. Yeah, Bilal Muhammad. Like, I thought Bilal Muhammad was going to beat Shavkat. Shavkat beat Ian Gary. Kind of doing, like, a little MMA math there. I'm not saying that's how it's going to happen. But, like, Bilal could have beat JDM. He just didn't come in with a really good game plan. He let JDM like look really good on the feet. He should have done what Islam did and just shoot and hold him there. But maybe got paid off by the refs. You know what I'm saying? But I think Bilal Muhammad, if he mixes in the takedowns, bro, he can't win. If he comes out, Canelo hands, bro, you're gonna lose to Ian Gary. No offense, but I think Ian Gary's the better striker. I think he mixes up kicks better. But yeah, man, I think that's how Bilal Muhammad wins. If he doesn't do that and tries to do whatever he did against JDM, I don't even know what he did against. Like, I don't even know what his game plan was. But, yeah, I think he should beat Ian Machado Gary. But if he tries to Canelo hands his way to a victory, bro, like, it's kind of over. But, yeah, like I said, Bilal won't be the one getting taken down here. Ian Gary is a tricky person, like I said, in the striking. So I would, like, if this is what happens, Ian Gary comes out, is like, yo, I'm just gonna, because, bro, he's really good on the back foot. He knows how to pick his shots. If he does that, Bilal Muhammad is chips. He's cooked. You know what I'm saying? But I like Bilal Muhammad in this matchup. Moving on up the card, we have Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. Dan the Hangman Hooker. Dan Hooker. Mate, Dan Hooker is gonna come out here. Yeah, I don't know what accent that is. I was trying to go for Australian. But yeah, Arman Tsarukyan, bro, probably by KO or decision. Nasty ground and pound. Arman Tsarukyan is the #1 contender. He just needs to fight this because he got that back pain. I don't know what kind of rolling he was doing the night prior, you know what I'm saying? But Arman Tsarukyan is going to come out here and beat Dan Hooker. He is the #1 contender. He's literally the best person besides Ilya now in the lightweight division. He has the best wrestling in the lightweight division now that Islam is gone. I think, yeah, bro. I think he's gonna win this fight, and I think Arman Tsarukyan now is way better than Gamrot. He's gonna come out here and take Dan Hooker down and maybe ground and pound TKO. But I think Dan Hooker obviously like has decent takedown defense. He threatens the front choke every time someone goes for like a takedown. So we'll see, but I like Arman Tsarukyan in this fight. I think it's pretty straightforward. He's like a -600 now too, so we'll see. But like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Winnable if you would like our bets on this card. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'm out.